Folks, here we have, as part of the story behind the founding of the Acropolis and the naming of Athens after Athena, we have here an olive tree. And now this olive tree was planted at the beginning of the 20th century, but it is resembling the sacred olive tree that grew when, remember I told you about Athena having a contest with Poseidon, and according to the myth, Athena struck the rock with her spear, and a sacred olive tree grew out of the rock. And Poseidon, when he struck the rock with his trident, it created a salt spring. Remember, Poseidon is the god of the oceans and the seas. And so here, the presence of the sacred olive tree, and of course olives are huge in Greek cuisine. Olive oil, they take pride in that. So the reason why I'm mentioning this is this was also in front of the altar to Zeus, Zeus Heraclios, and again showing us the fact that the gods also received worship by the use of sacrifice. The point here, in terms of the olive tree here, is whenever the Bible talks about how when Israel went into apostasy and they brought the Asherah poles into the temple of the Lord, the Asherah poles were like tree trunks, if you will, and Asherah was represented by a tree. And so the prophets railed against that, because to do that, of course, the whole point there was that the Israelites wanted Yahweh to marry Asherah to bring about fertility and etc. in the land. The whole point being, of course, that the Asherah pole will be a representation of Asherah, and that the idea is fertility. This is why God forbade fertility rites and cults that were rampant in Israel's day. So the whole issue with Elijah on Mount Carmel is an example of that. Baal was a fertility god as well. So here you have this so-called sacred olive tree in what was part of the old temple of Athena. So just a bit of background there on the use of trees. Of course, in the Lord's temple, Yahweh's temple in Jerusalem, none of this was permitted. Although the menorah, if you remember, if you look at the 7-branch candlestick, the menorah looks like a tree. It resembles a tree. And but it was made of gold and would light up the holy place. But the idea of putting live trees in the temple, of course, was not allowed by Yahweh.